everyone, welcome. It is Lauren here from Acting Classes in Perth. Thank you so much for joining us. This is episode number 25. I can't believe it, 25 already. It's amazing. 25 of the Acting Classes in Perth, Your Questions Answered daily show. The show where I sit down here and answer all your acting related questions at 7 p.m. every single day here on Facebook Live and also simultaneously on YouTube Live. Now, a huge thank you and a shout out to everyone who is joining us. Alrighty, so today's question comes into us from Gaia, but before we get to that, I would love for you to give me a big thumbs up if you are out there watching us right now. Thank you so much. Please add a comment or say hello or ask a question in the comment section, and we will try to get back to you as soon as we can. Ladies and gentlemen, today's question comes in from Gaia. It's one that's quite interesting, actually, and it's one that we do get from time to time. So I'm really excited to have it here on the show today. Gaia, ask your question.
Hi Lauren, it's Gaia here. I wanted to know, what's a lighting setup? Thank you, Lauren.
A what? A lighting setup, a lot of you are asking? What a great question, Gaia. If only Lauren would answer it on the show. Well, guess what? I am. Right now. So, a lighting setup. Well, traditionally we have what's called a three-point lighting setup, Gaia. Now, what that means is that there are three very distinct and three very important points of light that are coming onto you, the actor or the actors in the space, right? So the first one is the key light. Now, this is the main light that is lighting the set or the scene or the actors or the actor, right? So it's a fairly bright light. It's the strong light. It's the main key light. Then what we have is some fill light. Now, the key light tends to be maybe on one side slightly, and so what we want to do is, and that helps create a little bit of depth across the face. Then what we do is we also add in another light on the other side, but not as bright, a little bit softer, or a few stops down softer in some cases, and we call that the fill light. And what the fill light does is it takes away some of the shadows and allows to slightly light that side of the face that doesn't have the key light. So we've still got a little bit of definition, a little bit of shadow, but not a lot of shadow that it looks weird, right? So we have key and we have fill. And then we have our third light for the three-point lighting system or the three-point lighting setup, and that's called our backlight, and that's the light that's coming from behind. And what that does is that actually gives us a depth, so that actually pushes us away visually from the background, so we don't blend in and become flat in the background. So for example, in this space here in my studio, for all of my Facebook Lives that I do, I have a traditional three-point lighting setup with more lights added in to give me a good amount of light. But up here I've got my key lights. I've got one here and one here, and then I've got a fill light up here, and I've also got from down here another soft fill light that also helps to fill some of those shadows, especially off my chin. So because I'm primarily shooting from above in this scenario, if I didn't have the fill light below me, what would happen is that I would have this shadow cast coming right down over my chin, you know, like that. I'm trying to do it, but I just look like a chicken. Right, so I've got, I don't know what happened there, I apologize, I went a bit crazy. So I've got a fill light here just to help take away some of those shadows. And then behind me here I've got my backlight. So I've got some backlight up here, and I've also got a warm tungsten backlight, because what I've done is it's a bit more advanced, Gaia, but I've color balanced these lights to be daylight, and then my camera is color balanced daylight, and then I like I might add on like a grade or like a filter so that I can give a little bit more kind of depth and a bit more color texture to it. But I've then got a tungsten globe back here, which is more of an orange light, and that's part of my backlight, helping kind of throw a bit more of a color cast over the back of me and helping me give a bit of definition from everything behind me. And then also the background is lit, obviously. So that's the 3-point lighting system. Now, if you would like to start shooting your own small scenes for maybe a little show reel or a little kind of screen demos, then what I would suggest is you just start with a monologue and start simple and work your way up from that. So firstly, I would say start with a monologue, not very long, and start with a smartphone. And then start also with a giant window in your house. And you're going to shoot it in the time of day, or at the time of day where the sun is not directly coming in that window, so it's right bright on you, but maybe in the early afternoon, right? So the sun is still fairly over the top of your house, but it's giving enough light to come through in terms of brightness, but not direct light. What you're also going to try to do is grab one of those kind of maybe soft blinds or I actually forget what they're called, but they're like white. They've got a whole lot of holes in them, and that's going to help diffuse you, right? It's like a curtain you can put up in front of your window, and it's going to help diffuse the light that's coming through. So you're going to have a lot of good light, but then it's not harsh. It's going to be softer and a bit more diffused. And I also want for you to then get a lamp with a globe in it. And what I would like for you to do is put that behind you, out of shot. Okay, so that could be, you know, if my hand was the globe, that could just be kind of here-ish. And you're going to point that onto you here, right? So that's going to help give you a bit of depth. That is really only just a 2-point lighting system, but I feel that if you're starting on a smartphone, you're starting simple, you've got your big window, you're kind of facing your window. Don't put the window behind you and film you with the window behind you, because that's going to blow out, right? The contrast is going to be ridiculous. So what I want you to do is put the camera in front of your window inside, and you're then going to be facing the window, and all that light will come through. Your backlight's going to be here. Once you've done this a little bit and you've started to experiment, and then hopefully maybe you've got a good smartphone, or maybe you've got a digital SLR or a good video camera, what you could start to then do is actually start experimenting with different mood lighting, or some different kind of visual lighting textures. And what that might mean is, if you've got a bit of a dark, menacing monologue, maybe you will shoot more on the side, or position yourself, right? So the camera's still here in front of you, but the light's coming in here. So this side has more shadow. Or maybe you're not going to backlight yourself, or maybe you're going to, you know, have a scene. Maybe if you're on a rocket that's going to plunge into the sun, you just fully blow the scene out. Or maybe you've got a scary monologue, and so maybe you're going to do it in soft light, and maybe you're going to grab another lamp and you're going to have the soft lamp kind of pushing some light up here on you, and you're not going to shoot it you know, during the middle of the day, but later in the day, so the light is a lot darker, and you add a lot more ambient kind of emotional energy or mood to your lighting setup. So there are a whole lot of ideas for you. Gaia, thank you so much for sending in this question. I absolutely loved it. Now, if you loved it too, support a local actor. Share this video right now. Click the share button, share this video. If you are watching us here on Facebook, click the like and then follow our page. Now, if you are watching us on YouTube, simply click subscribe, and then be sure to click the notifications bell next to that, so that you keep updated with all our videos as they come out. And on top of that, lastly, if you are listening to us on iTunes, be sure to click the subscribe button. I'll keep you updated, as will my team, with all the videos as they come out every single day. Now, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to see you again tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for another awesome question answered by me. I'm Lauren from Acting Classes in Perth. Have a great evening until I see you again soon. Stay safe, and like always, happy acting.